I made it! Woohoo! Tomorrow is my birthday, and I successfully made a Chronicles of My Hair Stories in 4 chapters. It's my birthday. I'm gonna party. It's my birthday. I'm gonna party. It's my birthday. Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dorcas Richard Glado. So, I'm very excited, obviously. So, you give me a few seconds to get a hold of myself. But I'm someone who naturally I'm a procrastinator, and so to have made consecutively 4 chapters of my hair series, basically talking about my hair journey, basically to celebrate my 40s. I turned 40 last year. Yeah. It's looking. I'm excited. I'm excited. Tomorrow is my birthday, so tomorrow will be the 9th of April. So if you've not left a comment and you've been watching my videos, kindly drop me something nice. I'll really appreciate that. So this is gonna be quite lengthy because I want to wrap up like a chapter per decade of my life. So I'm gonna wrap it up in this chapter 4 of my hair stories. Okay, so like I said in chapter 3, my friend was the one who brought the natural hair movement to my attention, and once I had access to the internet, I began to watch a lot of hair videos on YouTube. And the beautiful thing was that there were hair videos for natural hair care as well as for relaxed hair care. So I focused mostly on the kind of hair I had then, which was relaxed hair. And I met wonderful people. One of them that really helped me was Busy Doing Me, and Dominique Style Dominion or Style Domination or something like, I forget her name. But those were my first favorite YouTubers. And then I met a host of natural hair people. I liked Nappy Foo. I liked this lady, the natural curly or something like that. There were a host of them, and they were really doing their best to help us love ourselves, love our hair, embrace our kinkiness for people like me, embrace our curliness for my 3C sisters, type 3 sisters, your waviness, It was really interesting. It was a movement that impacted even those of us who were in Africa at the time. Obviously, we are very much influenced by the Western world, and when I say the Western world, I refer mostly we consume a lot of cultural movements and things from the US, from the UK, not necessarily from Europe, And so it got to South Africa quite a few years later. That was around 2014, 2016, and I think particularly for me, it was interesting to watch the response in South Africa because, like I said, a lot of people rock their dreads. A lot of people rock natural hair. They wear their weaves, but there was a huge number of people who were relaxed. And so for my friend to have come up with that idea, it was interesting. I naturally just wanted to grow my hair. Sorry, there's some noise I was hearing outside. I hope it didn't get into the video. So, as I was saying, I began to realize the differences between the natural hair care and the relaxed hair care. For me, while both of them demanded time and attention, the natural hair care was more expensive. And that was the first thing that I noticed that made me go against it. It was, or not the first thing, I'm going to mention what I didn't like about the natural hair movement in no particular order. Was that there were a lot of products on the market and that made it expensive. You had to have a plethora of hair products, hair tools like your Denman brush it was. You had to have a silk hair bonnet. You had to have certain kinds of brushes. You had to do away with your small tooth comb. You had to have what do you call those things? Those hair hats that they usually used to warm in the microwave. If anybody remembers those things, they were usually stuffed with linseed and they would be heated up, and those was what they used to apply to cover their hair when they were doing a hair treatment in the hair mask. And then it was a long process. First of all, it was washing, then deep conditioning, then conditioning, then you had the co-wash on certain days or twice a day, then you had the hot oil treatment, then you had to oil your scalp, then you had to have the what do you call them, the rice water movement came in. It was a ton, and I was like, there's no way I was going to invest financially in that kind of a thing. That was one. Two, and this was more emotional for me, was the fact that people were making those of us who had relaxed hair feel less African or less black, whatever the term you like to use, about our hair. So there was this force to say you are not embracing your Africanness if you didn't have natural hair. You were not African enough. You are ashamed of your hair. You were not bold. You were not black enough, you know. And I found that quite insulting, especially for those of us in Africa. You know, if we were going to make distinctions, those of us in Africa didn't need to be African, didn't need anything to be African. We were Africans because that's where we were, or that's where we are, that's where we were born. We had our cultures, we had our values. There's a lot that goes into making you an African, your ethnicity, your culture, your food, your cultural clothing, your traditions, so many things, you know. And so for this movement, especially in the US, to come out and singularize hair texture as being what made you black, probably for them over there, I don't know, it rubbed me a very wrong way, you know. It rubbed me wrongly, and I was really offended. That was 2. 3, we had those people that I think some people in the natural hair community would refer to as the hair Nazis. Like, they put a kind of religious twist to it, that was our God-given hair, and so you had to keep that. And it was funny to me because before the movement revived, remember that the natural hair movement started in the 60s, which was a political movement when blacks were trying to stand up for their rights. So they were using every tools at their disposal to demand equal rights, and I get that and I can appreciate that, you know. But for someone to come and say, no, God gave you this certain texture of hair, and so don't do anything about it, embrace it. It was funny for me because we had already heard that in church. You know, that church people who till today will tell you when you relax your hair or you chemically alter your hair, you're telling God that you are not grateful with the kind of hair He has given you. Therefore, you are, I don't know, blaspheming or being ungrateful or something, or spitting in the face of the Creator. I don't know what they meant by that, but at least I've heard that in church to say you have to be content with your face, with your hair, sorry, and so you wouldn't do anything, just braid it. Which another group, funny enough, were saying if that's the case, then we shouldn't braid it because we should just keep our hair and comb it, like wet it, comb it, because nobody was born with braided hair. But I say that to say it was already an issue there in Africa, whether you should alter your hair chemically or with heat, you know. So that was number 3. And why did that really affect me was that you were promoting a natural look for Black women. I don't know of any Black woman who has red lips or who has long lashes or who has gold eyelids. I don't know of anyone like that. You know, they would have a full face of makeup and you want to tell me that I should be natural. When your face, you are not contented with the beauty, the facial beauty that God gave you, then you want me to be natural, to be contented with the natural hair that God gave me. I'm like, come on, you use makeup to alter your look. You use makeup to enhance your look, like some of them say. And then you want to make it a sin for me to enhance the texture of my hair. It sounded hypocritical to me, to say the very least. It sounded hypocritical to me. And the commercial world jumped in. There was everything organic. Organic hair, this organic what for Black hair, for natural hair, for coarsen, all sorts of things. And those products were exorbitant in Africa. They were very expensive. 1, 2, we didn't have a lot of options. I remember when I was living in South Africa, when the hair movement had taken up pace, we only had Cantu. If you remember Cantu hair products, those were the ones that were available in the big supermarkets in South Africa. Then a lot of a few hair salons began to pop up, but it was far from me. It was more in the capital, in Pretoria, where we started having 1 or 2 natural hair salons, you know. And so it wasn't even feasible for me. What was accessible to us as time went by, as the movement went on, was the DIYs. Oh my God, the DIYs came into play. So it was people blending oils. And again, we also didn't have all those oils within our reach. Grapeseed oil was not within our reach. Jojoba oil was not within our reach. We had access to olive oil, coconut oil. We had access to Black Jamaican oil. Yes, expensive, but it was on the market. We could lay our hands on it. I remember there was this lady. She was a relaxed hair girl. She changed her name on YouTube several times. At a point in time, after a couple of years, she actually just left it and was going for a week. So I can't remember. I can't find her on YouTube to name here. So it was a DIY movement, because I think people figured out, like, no, these companies were just trying to milk money out of us. You know, everybody was selling natural hair care products. So now the DIY movement began, where people were using hair mayonnaise, hair eggs, avocado oils, and then the rice water movement came in. And that was when I began to enjoy dabbling into some of those things that was done in the natural hair community. So I tried jojoba oil, sorry, not jojoba oil, Jamaican black oil, black castor oil. That made a difference to my edges. I remember I tried that. I tried coconut oil, and the what is it? What am I trying to remember now? Yeah, I tried that. I tried that on my relaxed hair. The onions. How many of you did that onion juice? That thing cleaned my hairline completely because my sister had done it and that worked for her. So it was where they would use onion juice and ginger juice for the edges, you know. There was all sorts of things, and that didn't work for me. And so till 2017, I was still relaxed. I was like, this is not for me. You're not taking my Africanness because of my hair. Relaxed hair, natural hair. I'm an African. If you do blood tests, you will find in my genes African genes. So that was what I didn't like about the movement, but I appreciated it. I could understand, I could empathize with our sisters over there in the diaspora, in other countries where it really meant a lot to them, you know, that they were trying to stand up, they wanted to be accepted. I could appreciate the problems they faced in workspaces where you wanted to carry your natural hair, but you were not even confident if you were accepted, you know, in workplaces as well groomed, as your hair being well groomed, or just bushy just because you wanted to carry a certain hairstyle with your natural hair. I can appreciate the culture, the struggle. I did appreciate the struggle they went through. But it wasn't affecting me personally, so I didn't buy into the movement. How and why I became a natural hair girl was in 2017 that I moved from South Africa to Ecuador with my husband. And when I got here, that was when I realized how much one is attached to her hairdresser. My hairdressers were like my family, you know. I would go sit in the chair. Basically, they told me what had to be done. They would feel my hair and say, okay, we need to deep condition, we need a certain kind of mask. And the one particular one, Uncle Victor, would always know when to trim my hair, you know, and I would see the benefit of that trim. Sometimes it would take as much as 3 inches off, you know. I wasn't ashamed of that. I wasn't afraid of that because he was not scissors happy like I hear a lot of stories on YouTube. He knew when and how, you know. So I just went, I sat and so I can't even tell you exactly what was the problem, but I know that it worked. So when I came to Ecuador, I literally had that, is it anxiety? To look for another person to touch my hair. That's how much attached I was to my hairdresser in South Africa. And he was a man. You know, he was my husband's friend. He was nice. He was a family friend, you know. So when I came here, first of all, there are not many black salons. Secondly, Afro-Ecuadorian ladies are not into natural hair. Very few are. And those of them who are into the natural hair movement or who carry natural hair, because it's not a movement, that movement I found out never got to Ecuador, you know, because in Ecuador there's just one province where blacks are dominant. And so the blacks who live here in the city where I live, they braid their hair with extensions and they carry it for 6 months, a year. Like you would literally see, it's common sight on the buses or on the street to see an Afro-Ecuadorian with extension with braids with 6 months worth of growth, like 2 or 3 inches like this beneath the extensions. And that's the norm for them here. Or ladies with wigs. So what they do, they flat iron, or now I believe a lot of them use keratin to straighten their hair, and they will put in clip-ons. That's what Afro-Ecuadorians here do. So there's not a lot of salons that cater to African hair in Ecuador. So I didn't even know where to go, and I didn't want to go to start gambling with non-white salons to handle my hair. So I was here. I got here in May of 2017, and I really wanted to try to grow out the hair, you know, because I was afraid of doing the big chop. I'm very, very emotionally attached to my hair. So I wanted to do the big chop, but I didn't have the courage to do the big chop. And so I bought a relaxer. After 6 months, I relaxed my hair. The last time I relaxed my hair was in, I think, October or September. Before the end of the year of 2017 was the last time I relaxed my hair. I think in November, I relaxed my hair for the very last time. And it wasn't a success. The hair didn't really get relaxed. So 2018, by February, I had undergrowth. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to grow the hair out. I'm not going to relax it. I'll go back to natural hair, and I'll see if it's something I can manage. I'll teach myself, because now it was clear that I was going to be my own hairdresser. And so I went back to YouTube, watched a ton of videos, what to do, how to grow out your natural hair, the big chop, or if you don't feel comfortable doing the big chop. YouTube has been my lifesaver in this country when it comes to my hair. I learned a lot, and because of the DIY and the availability of a lot of herbs and aloe vera and avocado, I was able to start my natural journey here. So what did I do at the beginning? I went with aloe vera and avocados. So it was a horrible mistake. Let me just tell you guys. The first time I did that treatment, that deep conditioning treatment, wow, I didn't sieve it. I didn't strain it. I just blended it and I slapped it into my hair, wrapped plastic bag, left it for a couple of hours, and I washed it out. And my hair was a mess. Like, there were strands of fibers from the avocado, and I was trying to comb it out. My husband had to take like 15 minutes to comb it out for me. Like, we were literally like just slapping the hair to get those fibers out. It was the first biggest lesson I ever learned caring for my natural hair. Moving forward, I started taking off inches, you know, as the hair grew. I would take inches off the hair grow. I would take a little inch off by myself at home of my relaxed hair. So while the natural hair moved out, I would take an inch off of the relaxed hair. And everything people were saying about how to maintain the two textures if you weren't going to do a big chop didn't really help me. I did the twisting, I did the bantu knots. My hair was just not loving it. So when I had about, I think, 6 or 8 inches of natural hair, I sat down and I did a big chop by myself. That was it, guys. So 2019, I was officially a natural hair girl. Was it hard? Yes. Looking back, I really built a lot of confidence. Fellowshipping and having friends who have straight hair, wavy hair. It takes a lot to be able to stand out in such groups and say, this is me, this is what I have, and I'm content. Was I proud at the time of my hair? I really wasn't, because I felt like I didn't have mousse, I didn't have the creaming, the curling cream, there were a lot of things I didn't have, and I thought I needed for my hair to look beautiful. But what I came to learn, and that is why I'm doing this, is that when life throws you lemons, you really can make lemonade if you cannot throw it back at life. You cannot throw back the lemons at life. You really can make lemons and add your own sugar and spices and have a wonderful lemonade. That is what my hair journey taught me, that in whatever situation you can make something good, something beautiful out of it. I learned how to manage my hair better. I was washing and conditioning religiously. At the time, I learned from Green Beauty, God bless her, she's also on YouTube, that I was overdoing the overnight deep conditioning with a plastic bag. From here and there, on a lot of YouTube channels, I learned how to manage my hair, and I realized I really don't need all of those things. I tried a wash and go, but I noticed it wasn't for me, because first of all, I didn't have all the products to do it. But then when I looked at a lot of videos, I also realized that is not for me, because I don't have a lot of patience either to finger coil the hair. But I've been loving my hair journey ever since then. I've been embracing my kinks, I'm not that child who was made to feel ashamed of the texture of her hair, who felt like she wasn't beautiful enough. These days, I enjoy more of an afro. I enjoy African threading. It's beautiful. I love the term that they recognize. It's from Africa, African threading. I thread my hair myself. I carry it in braids, but mostly in a 2-strand twists. And that's how I've been for the past 5 years now. So when I had only natural hair, so plus or minus, I've been natural for about 6 years. I would love to say 6 years, 6 to 7 years, 6 years, yeah, 6 years, 2018 to now. And you get to a lull where you're like, okay, I know I wash, I deep condition. I don't use conditioners because I had a rash on my neck. I had eczema when I was trying out new products here in Ecuador. I think I was reacting to something in the chemicals. So since then, I stopped conditioners. When I wash my hair, I use only aloe vera, like raw aloe vera gel that I will just blend, extract the juice, and that's what I use to condition my hair. And since last year that I got the hair bonnet you saw me with in chapter 1 or 2, my deep conditioning process has really improved, because like it or not, we need a certain amount of heat for your deep conditioning ingredient to penetrate your hair. And using that heat bonnet has really helped my hair texture, to the point that my hair breakage dropped drastically, that my doctor is surprised, because of recent I just discovered I had anemia, and she was wondering if I had hair loss. And while the strands are thin, and now I understand why, I've not suffered such hair loss as I used to in previous years, because when I got that heat cap, I made an intentional commitment to regularly deep condition my hair every week, which is what I've been doing. And the hair really responds to treatment. I hear a lot of people say, talk to your hair, listen to your hair rather. She speaks, and it's true. That has been really true for me. the texture of my hair, the health of my hair has improved since I began to religiously alter between moisture deep conditioning and protein deep conditioning. It has really, really helped me. So for the foreseeable future, I'm thinking maybe throughout my 40s, I may just be a natural hair. I really enjoyed. I do enjoy my hair now. I don't have any complex whatsoever. I wear it how I like, anywhere I want to go to. There's still a lot to be done for our self-care, self-love. There's still a lot to be done in helping our other sisters accepting that this is what we were born with and this is what we should be proud of. But I still believe to each her own. If you feel you want to rock wigs, then rock it consciously, because too much of everything is bad. I believe wigs can help for those days where you don't feel like undoing your hair and putting it in a good style. Then by all means, throw a cap on if you want to feel sophisticated. Personally, I find they make you look older. I find wigs give this kind of, I don't know, this kind of mature look that makes you look older than your age. We sew-ins or weave-ons, like we used to call them when I used to do them, helped my hair back in the time because it was not touched, and I would just lift the sew-ins and sprays to keep my hair moist. It does help. So, but what I'm afraid with the modern wigs are the glue ones, the ones that need glue for the lines, And when it comes to extensions, I have reduced the amount of time I carry extensions because I noticed that while it's nice and it's also a good protective hairstyle if you can maintain it, I'm very lazy when it comes to daily moisturizing. So if I want to have extensions on, I would want to have a leave-in conditioner that is just easy to spray on the hair. I noticed that helped very well. I would want to have that, and I would want to have a very good quality extensions with which to do the braid also. But I've noticed that when I take off my braids, I feel my hair, the quantity of my hair is too small, just because I've been used to that heaviness and the quantity of extensions on my hair, which was not my own. So there's that kind of disappointment. If you understand what I'm saying, try to leave a comment below. But that's how I've always felt, and that has made me kind of stay away from extensions, from braiding with extensions. I will do it. I don't say I will never do it, neither do I say I will never own a wig, but I can say in my entire life I have never owned a wig. I've only done weave-ons and extensions. I've never owned a hair wig because it's also a trend. I'm not the trendy kind of person either. I don't really buy into trends. No, I don't. If I like it, I do it. If I don't like it, I don't care how many people are doing it. So we'll see going forward. I'm so grateful for life. I'm grateful for friends. I'm grateful to my family. They have been here with me, supporting me, and I'm grateful to the woman I'm becoming. I'm grateful to the woman I'm becoming. I'm going to look for another topic and I'll make series on it. Hopefully you join me. Hopefully you subscribe. If for some reason you didn't like the video, you didn't like the series, kindly drop a comment and let me know why. And if you did, also drop a comment and like, please. I would appreciate you to like my videos. I don't ask people to share videos because that's your own discretion. If it was good enough to share, then muchísimas gracias, like we say in Spanish. But thanks for watching and wish me happy birthday, please. Tomorrow is my birthday, but if you watch it after my birthday, thanks for watching and all the best. God bless.